When I was young, I was playing with my friends outside all the time. We played children's game, we hiding. But after that, I play a lot floor hockey and hockey. Also, I played a lot of baseball. So baseball and hockey took a big place when I was young. And then at the age of 9 years old, I started to do karate at 8 years old, but at the age of 9, I had to decide, do I practice karate or hockey? So I said karate, but I love both. So yeah, so when I was young, I was playing outside all the time. I came back home only to eat, do my homework, but if I could be outside, I was always outside all the time. My parents took a big place for my education, not only for life, but in Taekwondo. One day, I asked to my dad, what should I do to be a world champion? And he told me, you need to train more than your opponent. You need to train better than your opponent. And you have to be an exception. You have to be special. And my mother talked to me a lot about I have to be a good person. I have to respect people, but I have to eat good, sleep good, you know, and also I have to be very disciplined. Because when you're young, and like me, I won my first gold medal in Greece. I was 17 and a half, like close of 18 years old. And I was living in a small town, small city. So everybody in my city knew I was a world champion. So could be very easy to just to want to go out or see my friends. So, but my mother teach me discipline. So I had to train and eat and sleep good. The relationship I have with my sister Madeleine, since the beginning, since I was children, she was like the second mother to me. She always protect me, always make sure I was okay. Also, when I went out of my family's house, so I went to my first apartment. She always make sure I eat good, I was okay and everything. In 1987, my first gold medal, I gave it to my sister because for me, she took a big place in my life. You know, she was always there for me. She loved me. And since my mother, she passed away like 2 years ago, she became a big, strong, the person very important in my family. So my sister Madeleine is a special person. She's a good person, and always the same, always good, always fair. Yeah, and when she have something to tell me, she tell me, like my mother. And then I told her, since my mother is gone, I would always accept her advice all the time. So Madeleine, yeah, I love her. I started to do martial arts at the age of 8 years old. I start with karate, Shitoryu. It's a very traditional karate. You repeat all the time the same technique, all the time. And also the terms are in Japanese. So for me, when I was in the karate group, we were mixed with the adult. So it was hard for me at the beginning because I was 8 years old. I just wanted to have fun, but I had to do the discipline. And yeah, so after that, in the age of 12 years old, I started to be good in competition. I was natural. And at the age of 13, 15 years old, I remember I was At that time, karate was competing against Taekwondo too. The Taekwondo in Quebec City, in my city, in my area, they participate in karate in stop match. And then I was competing Taekwondo kid, and I remember Mr. Alain Bernier. He became my coach, but at that time I didn't know him. So he was coaching against me, you know. So and Alain Bernier is a natural coach. He's very fast, very good to see the weakness of the opponent and the strength. So I lost. So after that, at the age of 16 years old, around that age, I changed for Taekwondo in 1985. So I was very lucky because the teacher in my city who opened the Taekwondo school, it was Alain Bernier. My mother said, okay, now we see they have Taekwondo here. My son talked to me about Taekwondo because I saw Ralph Van Collie. It's a small guy like me. He was a Grandmaster student at that time, long time ago. And I remember I saw him on the magazine of martial arts on the beach with a sidekick, with the trophy, you know, and GM Trent Taekwon beside him. And I said, I want to do that. I want to travel. I want to be the best in the world, you know. So my mother said that to Grandmaster Trent Taekwon. And Grandmaster remembered me in karate. And he said to my mother, one day he will become a world champion. Oh, man. My mother called me where I was. And she said, I just talked to Trent Taekwon, and he said, one day you will be a world champion. I said, what? Just 1 second. So I run to my house. I talked to my mother. My mother said, yes, Mr. Alain Bernier opened a Taekwondo school here. I remember Mr. Alain Bernier with his kicking on one leg, like, he was very fast. And yeah, this is my story, how I start to do karate and Taekwondo. I met Mr. Alain Bernier, my coach, in 1985. We became close because when he opened the Taekwondo school, it was only white belt, you know. But me, I was black belt in karate, so I came in this club with my black belt in Taekwondo, but I had 1 year to practice. So every day I went to Sainte-Foy, another city, where Grandmaster Trent Taekwon were. So Grandmaster was teaching me, and my coach, Mr. Alain Bernier, was teaching me also. So I had to change place every day. I trained in Quebec and Sainte-Foy, and one time I trained to my city, so I mix all the time. Me and Mr. Bernier, we become very close because we train a lot together. We share our personal life together. We talk a lot together. We passed on a lot of obstacle, you know. So since my young age, I learned to fight to pass away the obstacle. So we trained so hard, and he believed in me. I believe in him, and we became one of the best team I had in my life. You know, me and my coach Alain Bernier, we were a great team, and everywhere we went in the world, we were ready to compete against everybody. So yeah, me and Mr. Bernier, we became like this. Mr. Bernier's teaching, it's about work all the time. Like he said, even if you have a big potential or less potential, if you don't work, you have no result. So we train hard, physically and mentally and strategically and everything. Like we had to train, we have to understand sparring, we have to be the body ready, we have to have our mind ready, physically ready, everything ready. And he needed to understand our life, to understand how we were. If we want to be the best, he needs to understand us. So Mr. Bernier, his word is work, you will have result. My coach had it was good because he was always make us believing everything is possible. If the opponent is taller, bigger, faster, stronger. He have a weakness, and we will find it. So, like even now, I see people use side kick, punch, 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 punch. And me, I think I have my strategy against that. So I always, every time I see Taekwondo video, all the time, it's like this. Every time I see Taekwondo, I look, first of all, I said, the technique, is it good? Is it possible in sparring? Sometimes I say, this is not possible. But when it's a good technique, I'm always thinking, okay, I will do that. I think I should do, I can do that. I will coach the people to do this and that. Yeah. So everything is possible. My relationship with my sparring partner, all my sparring partner, because I started 16 years old, and I quit at 34 years old, so I had many sparring partners. But for me, they were all special. They were there for me, I was there for them, and I can tell you, it wasn't easy to be my sparring partner because I never gave a chance, never. I had my goal, so nobody could stop my goal. So my sparring partner, they were good, and I loved them, and we were close. I was hard with them, they were hard with me too. But outside of that, we were the best team ever. Like, we love each other. So when they go compete, I was there. When I compete, they were there. You know, like my result, my positive result, it's a lot because of them. You know, if they're not there, I'm not the same competitor. So I have a big respect for my sparring partner, very big. I think this is the biggest respect I have. It's with them. The respect I have for the dojang is very big. For me, it's a lot of history. When I go on the dojang, the salut, the bow is very important. You know, it's not only to do the movement, it's everything. You know, like where I was training, I had so much memories there. And also I learned so much things there, changed my life completely. And also for the training, I sweat so much in the training. I bleed so much in my training, and I make people bleed too. So, and we cry sometimes. We were happy sometimes, you know. So I will always remember when I go in the dojang, all the dojang. For me, when I do the salut, if you see me, I stop all the time. I don't just bow and talk. No, it's very important for me. Yeah. Why I became one of the best competitors in history. It's so many things. I always said I was lucky. Not only lucky. What I mean is I had a good health. Never in the big event I had a big hurt. You know, I was always healthy, never sick. You know, this is luck, maybe, I don't know. For sure my mother was there to always make sure I eat good, sleep good. You know, I put my chance in my side. Yes, I understand. But yeah, my mother were there to help me to become a champion. My coach have so much idea how to train, change the training to become better. And also, everybody wanted to beat me, so I had to always to change something, so my coach helped me for that. One thing is so important about my success. I was young in the team. I was in the Canadian team. I was 17 and a half years old. And I was with Paul Germain, Mr. Alain Bernier, and I had the Grandmaster Clint Norman. The Grandmaster Clint Norman, I call him Dad. He called me son. And we understood why. He was the captain of the team. Grandmaster Norman, he was the captain of the team, but not only a captain, he was a good captain. He would always be, it's in him. He always be an example to me. He always teach me, it's important to be at time. It's important to do this. Put the ball clean, do this, do that all the time. So I learned with him, and I always felt he liked me a lot too. So I always respect Grandmaster Norman. It's a big piece for me. And we had a big team. The Canadian team at that time, oh man, oh yes. we love to win, I remember Grandmaster Norman winning, the smile, the hand, wow, I miss that. So I think it's to be a champion, not to win only one time, but always be a champion. And this is good, but what I wanted to say is one thing I loved a lot is the most very important. It's fun to win for sure. Winning the first place, it's fun. But it's the respect I receive from all the countries, all the people, the Taekwondo people, girl, men, kids, mother, father, spectators. I feel the love so much, really. I remember in '99, I remember a lot of memories, the people give me so much love. So this helped me too, so for the success I had, it's not only about me, but it's about all the positive vibe I had around me. Yes, thank you. The road to become a champion, it's not easy, but it's fun. You have nothing to lose. Only you just win, so fight to win, it's fun. But when you are a world champion and you want to stay, you don't want to lose. You have something to lose. This is different, very different. Because when you're not a world champion, you try to be, for sure it's a dream for everybody who wants to be a world champion, and I wish you one day you will feel that. It's so amazing, like for the feeling, it's big, it's big. But when you are a world champion, and also not only a world champion, but because every year, every time I went to the world champion, like I said to you, I was 2-time world champion, but every world championship I was on the podium all the time. For pattern, for breaking, for sparring, but I was always winning individual medals and team medals. So what's happening is the stress become big and big and big, very big, because the people want to beat you. And also at my time, now today you have internet, you have video everywhere, you just click the name on the YouTube or Google, you can find people and know them. In my time, we didn't have that at all. But people knew me because I was winning often, so the people knew in my category they will fight against me, so they could look me, they could film me for the next year or for the next 2 years. But for me, when I see somebody from Italy or from everywhere, I never met them, some Korean guy, I remember one guy, I see him often, we were like very good fight together, but usually it's always new people for me, so I had to learn to know them at the first round. So the way I was thinking before the fight, it's a lot of stress, so I had to learn to control my stress, and I did. I had to learn to, in the first round, to know the person, to know my opponent, because when I went there, I didn't want to lose, only winning. So I don't want to try something. I want to make sure. I don't want just to go try a kick and maybe he's faster than me, maybe he's, I don't know. So my first round was very important for me and my coach to understand the other opponent. After that, second round, third round. So that's why my first round was very different of my second and third round. I was kicking more than, always like one technique, like one kick, but strong, bang, and to see the reaction, bang. After that, we could build, depend the quality and the weakness of my opponent. Yes. For me, I don't see it like a sacrifice. I see it like, no, it's normal, like breathing. just I had to put on the side my normal life, like the Friday night I don't go out with my friends, Saturday either. I was training 3 times a day, 2 to 3 times a day, like morning, afternoon, nights, and sometimes bicycle, something more. But I was training in the morning for just repeat same thing, technique, nothing here, but just repeat the techniques, like for 1 hour and a half, but repeat all the time, kicking, a lot. And after that, in the afternoon, was a lot physically too, but a lot about strategy, to understand what you do, what you have to do, if this person is like this or like that. So it's a lot about mental, but physically too. And in the night, it's muscular, weight, plyometry, to be faster, always to be faster and stronger for that in the night training. My only regrets for me in Taekwondo is to change for WTF, and I never hide that to nobody. Everybody knows. For me, at that time, my Taekwondo club, changed for WTF to go to the Olympics. And my coach asked me, do you want to change? And I said no, because I'm the ITF, ITF, WTF at that time. But not only that, all my friends are in ITF, Japan. So I went to Japan, I don't know how many times a year, like I went there a lot for work, a lot for demonstration, a lot for fighting. I did a lot of things in Japan. So my life was going like this, So my coach came back a second time, and he knew me like this, like he's my coach, so he knows me 100%. So he knew what to say. And he said something, I remember, and he said, if you don't try the WTF, how can you know you're really a world champion? And he touched myself here. And I said, yeah, okay. So I changed. It was complicated because the politics side, because I was from ITF, and in WTF they didn't want to see ITF winning. But I did my way, and I'm happy for one thing is I'm happy for the young guy after me. They could go easily, and to be more respect than I were respect. So this is a big regret for me. Also, something I will always remember, the biggest recognitions I had in Taekwondo ITF, I had a lot recognitions. But in 1999, in Argentina, it was my last world championship. And my Taekwondo club with my coach Alebani didn't want to go because they were now WTF. And I said to my coach, I want to go. At least the last time I want to go. And the national championship was just like in 2 weeks. And I said, I want to go. And he said, okay, go. But I wasn't ready to, because lose weight takes time, And for me, I was fighting in 80 and under, less than 80, and it's small, I'm 6'3", I don't know in centimeters, but I'm tall, and I didn't have time to lose weight, and I was an expert in my middleweight, division, my 80 and under, I was an expert, but now I go there for 80 and up, wow. I said, okay, I will go to the national, so I went to the national championship, Canadian championship, and I win. And so I can go to the national team in Argentina. But in super heavyweight, I never did that before in my life, So, so the competition is some few days, it's a lot of days of competition of the World Championship. So the first day I didn't compete, so I didn't go. I need to to relax. I don't want to go there for like a tourist. But what I didn't know, Argentina Federation did something very nice for me. They did a lot of things, a big video, but they show me, and the people I heard after that, the people were like, wow, like this. And then they make a book also, and I was there with Paul Germain and 300%. Nice, beautiful reconnaissance. But after that, it was a world championship. So I was winning, and I fought against a giant from Argentina. It was amazing. It was crazy because I lost against him before, and then we were fighting in the middle of the central ring, and he's 6'5", 6'6", and me, I'm smaller. So I said, okay, I have to fight close to him. So the people, the spectators, they were like, they were like singing, boom, boom, boom. They make noise, you know, like big noise. And when the fight started, I came very close, and then I punched him right away, and he fall down, and all the people stopped to make noise. So I was like, good. But what's happening is when the fight start again, I was ready. Poof, my head, I saw the ceiling like 2-3 times, like poof. He got me too. But at the end, I won. And because my coach wasn't there, the person who coached me is GM Lacaire. GM Pierre Lacaire, he was my coach. He did that few years before too. So we had a good relationship together. I knew he loved me and I love him. So I believe in him. So we went to the semi-final. And in semi-final, I lost. Also, what was hard for me, because I was training in WTF, my hands wasn't there anymore, was down. So I punched in my face. I never were punching like this in my face in my life. So I wasn't used to it, put my hand there. And I was on super heavyweight, so I wasn't ready to that, but it's okay. But I lost in semi-final, so I finished third in the world, so this is nice, in super heavyweight. But the person who went against me, rest in peace, you know, is not there anymore, so sorry. Yeah, this is the story about the respect in my sacrifice. I remember, like if it was yesterday, my coach came to see me and asked me, Pierre, do you want to fight Paul Germain? And I look at him and I say, oh yes. At that time I was 19 years old, I was young, and Paul Germain was a world champion. He was my idol at that time. When I was young, Paul Germain was my idol. And I trained hard, trained very hard. The day at the fighting, we came face to face. All the people screamed so loud. We came face to face. And I saw in his eyes, we are not friends. But I was comfortable because I was well prepared. I knew he would try to intimidate me because I'm young at that time. So when we start the fight, I touched my glove and we fought. Oh, it was a good fight. He got me 1 or 2 times, I got him 1 or 2 times, very good. And the rest of the fight was mixed. I punched him at the face, he kicked me at the body, and at the end of the fight, I was disappointed a little bit, but it was a tie. It's okay, because at that time I was disappointed, but today I understand I understand for him, he had everything to lose because he was a world champion and I was just a rookie at that time. And for me, I had everything to win. If I beat Paul Germain, oh man, you know. But I didn't lose. I didn't win. He didn't win. He didn't lose. It was a tie. It was the only fight we had together.